The Stairway of Light and Shadow. A majestic golden staircase rose from the heart of creation, glowing as if made from sunlight woven with eternity. Each step shimmered like a mirror of heaven, reflecting not only the sky but the secret longing of every soul that ever dreamed of home. Around it, clouds moved like living breath, turning gold, violet, and white in waves of divine light. The air itself sang a song of ascent, silent but felt in the bones of angels. At the top of the radiant stairway stood Jesus, clothed in glory that no eye could fully bear. His robe flowed with the light of 1,000 dawns, and his eyes held the stillness of galaxies. One hand was open toward heaven, the other extended outward, calling gently, not commanding. His face was both tender and strong, as if mercy itself had taken form. Behind him, light cascaded endlessly, and within that light, the very stars seemed to bow. Far below, at the foot of the staircase, shadows gathered like a restless sea. From those depths emerged a figure unlike any other, a demon vast and terrible, with horns of onyx and wings that spread like poisoned clouds. Its eyes burned red with sorrow disguised as rage, and its breath made the clouds shiver. It did not belong to the darkness by nature. It had chosen it. Once, perhaps, it had known the same light that now crowned the summit. But pride had turned its gaze inward, and it had fallen through its own hunger for dominion. Between light and darkness, upon the golden stairs, walked a young woman clothed in white. Her dress shimmered with innocence, her hair lifted gently by the wind of unseen wings. In her eyes was both fear and faith, the trembling courage of a soul that knows it is seen. She carried no weapon, only the quiet conviction of love. Each step she took upward caused the stairs beneath her to pulse with light, as though heaven itself were answering her courage. Behind her, the demon's wings spread wider, filling the lower sky. It did not speak, but its presence whispered doubt, invisible words that slid through the air like smoke. You are not worthy. The climb is too high. Turn back before you fall. The woman hesitated. The golden steps beneath her feet trembled, and for a moment she felt the gravity of despair pulling at her. Then she looked upward. Jesus stood at the summit, his gaze steady, his hand still outstretched. No word passed from his lips, yet his silence carried power, a call beyond fear, beyond understanding. Around him, light deepened, and within that light, she saw the faces of those who had walked before her, the saints, the lost, the redeemed. They were not watching to judge her, they were waiting to welcome her. She placed her foot on the next step. The light surged, banishing the murmur of darkness below. The demon roared. Its wings lashed out, shaking the air, sending waves of shadow upward. But the staircase did not break. It had been forged not of matter, but of divine intention, the unbreakable thread between God and soul. Each golden step was made of faith, each railing formed from mercy, and each breath of wind upon it whispered forgiveness. The woman climbed. Her white dress brushed the edges of clouds that glowed with a holy fire. She did not look back again. Behind her, the shadows hissed and writhed, unable to touch her now. For every doubt the demon hurled, another step answered with light. The higher she rose, the smaller the darkness became, until it was no more than a distant echo. Still, the demon did not retreat. It climbed as well, not upon the stairs of light, but through the air beside them, its wings tearing holes in the clouds. Its face twisted not from hate, but from grief. It longed for what it had lost, yet it could not bow, could not say the one word that would free it, Father. At the top, Jesus lowered his hand. His eyes met the creature's, and for a brief eternity, all of creation seemed to pause. The woman reached the final step. The radiance was so bright, she had to close her eyes, yet she felt warmth flood her being. Jesus turned toward her and smiled, a smile that dissolved the weight of all her years. You have walked through fear, he said softly, his voice like the wind through eternal fields, and you have found love waiting at the end. She knelt. The light poured over her like water, washing away every shadow that had ever touched her soul. And then, lifting her eyes, she saw something beyond the golden gate, the endless expanse of heaven itself, not as a place, but as a presence. Behind her, the demon hovered still. Its wings faltered, its strength waning before the radiance. But Jesus turned to it and spoke not in wrath, but in sorrow. You were made of light, he said. Even now, the door is not closed, but pride cannot climb where love must kneel. The demon's face twisted with confusion. pain like fire and frost in one breath. For the first time, its red eyes flickered with something else. Remembrance, the memory of joy, of song, of the Father's voice calling it beloved. The sound of that ancient love rose again, faint and distant, but real. And then, a single tear fell from its eye. Where it landed upon the golden stair, darkness broke apart like smoke in sunlight. The demon let out a cry, not of rage but release, and the air shimmered as though creation itself exhaled. Its horns cracked, its wings folded inward, and for a moment beneath the ruin, a glimmer of light returned, the faintest echo of the angel it once was. Jesus raised his hand once more. From his palm streamed rivers of violet and gold light, flowing down the staircase like living grace. It touched the woman, the stairs, and even the fading shadow below. Every beam carried the same message. You are still loved. You are still called. The heavens brightened. Angels appeared at the edge of clouds, their wings like white flame, singing no words, only sound pure enough to heal. The staircase itself seemed to breathe. The woman turned, now radiant as the dawn. She looked down the endless path she had climbed. The world below shimmered far away. Valleys of pain and hope intertwined like threads of the same tapestry. She realized the climb had never been about escape. It was about transformation. Each step upward had burned away illusion until nothing remained but truth. Jesus walked beside her, his robe flowing like light made visible. Every soul, he said gently, has its own ascent. The stairs may tremble, but they do not end. Even the fallen may climb again when love calls their name. She looked at him, tears of joy bright in her eyes. Then even he, she began, glancing toward where the demon had been. But the place below was now filled with soft violet light, the light of healing, not of fire. Jesus nodded, even he. For in the kingdom of heaven, no wound is final and no darkness is forever. The woman stepped forward. The golden gates opened, not with force, but with welcome. Beyond them stretched the great silence of eternity, the stillness that holds all music, the peace that surpasses every name. Jesus stood beside her, his hands still raised, his eyes shining with the reflection of every star. And from his lips came a whisper that echoed through heaven and earth alike, "Love always rises." And as those words moved outward, the light grew, filling the cosmos, washing through the stars, through the heart of creation, down to the farthest edges of every lost soul. The golden staircase remained, forever shining between heaven and earth, an unending bridge of mercy. Sometimes, when the night is clear and the soul listens deeply, one can almost see it, that path of living light reaching upward, and the faint silhouette of the one who stands at its summit, arms open wide. And in that silence beyond sound, heaven itself still breathes his name.